Just wanted to see what you thought of, obviously, Alyssa Thompson, Jaden Shaw. They both kind of overcome some adversity over the last however long, and the way that they performed and scored goals tonight.
I'll start with Alyssa. I have been watching her performances since the Olympics, and I know she's committed to, looking for the next level in her play. And I think you see just how threatening and dangerous she is. I mean, it's not an easy goal to chop in from the left-hand side and roof it in the top corner, but she's someone who is, her international career started at a very early stage, but that's why I believe it does take time. Maybe she wasn't ready before, but I could see from tonight's performance she offers a lot for us going forward, and I was super pleased for her on a goal and a performance. I think for Jaden, every single one of our locker room is over the moon for Jaden Shaw, knowing what she experienced in the summer, and I always feel that the summer will stand her in good stead, witnessing experience in the Olympics, albeit she didn't make the field. Her ability to create and score goals is second to none in this country, and it was just her feet were fabulous, and thought she took a goal well and looked very threatening.
Jeff.
Emma, Jeff Kassouf, ESPN. More generally, I wanted to get your thoughts on the game and maybe in the phases, as you kind of alluded to yesterday, of the group that was together and then, the debuts.
Yeah, I think we looked a little rusty. We haven't played together since the Olympics, and I also think we looked like a team that a lot of players on the back end of the season. So I liked our short passing game. I thought we did that well, but our final pass into the final third in the first half wasn't good enough. And I think when the spaces were there on the outside, we didn't switch the ball quick enough, but we addressed that at half time. And it's up to us to inject that urgency into the game, and I thought the players that came from the bench did that as a physical team. Sometimes I want us to win the fight first, and there was parts of that I didn't particularly like from us, and I'll address that. But generally speaking, I thought some good passages of play, good entries into the box without the execution being top quality, bar Alyssa's goal. And I think second half with the changes made, the quality in front of goal was the difference.
Theo.
Hi, Emma. It felt like in the 4-2-4, especially in the first half, there probably wasn't that much pressing. And I wasn't sure if that was sort of coming from you to maybe back off a little bit, or if it's that lack of urgency, or Iceland kind of sitting off and just waiting to see what you were going to show them in terms of the press. But it felt like either there was a sluggish press or a decision not to press. And I was wondering kind of what your take on that was.
Well, it's very difficult to press a back three with two forwards, plus they have a goalkeeper, so there's always going to be a spare player in the deepest space. But we have pressing triggers that we did okay from the dead ball front press. I actually thought we won a lot of ball in the middle phase. Open play, sort of middle phase defending. The minute you pop open, that's when they play a square ball to them playing behind. So you see the pace they've got in behind. And if you don't get the press right, they'll do that really, really well. But this wasn't the game to deviate away from a 4-4-2 press with so many new players in. I think ordinarily we probably would do something differently, but now's not that time to do that. But listen, they're 13th in the world. They beat Germany earlier this year. They're a top team. I think they demonstrated their qualities. You ask the players, they'll tell you that was a tough game tonight. Really, really good side.
Colby.
You've already talked about, or Colby Gordon, Austin American Statesman, you've already talked about this a little bit, but what's Jaden's potential? Is kind of the sky the limit for her?
Yes, I mean, we value Jaden, her qualities, her abilities. If she's been out injured, you can tell she's just getting back to those levels. I think the season ending's coming at the wrong time for her. But listen, she's a unique talent, and her feet are special in those tight areas. And I don't know too many players that can do what she does. So, yeah, of course, I think she just needs to keep working on her game and stay healthy and keep building on, what has been largely a good year for Jaden. So, and at the international level, she's showing how prolific she is. So, wonderful for us. We're seeing the depth in our roster in the highest areas, which is fantastic.
Anything else in the room? No? Let's go to Jonathan Tannewald. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Thank you, Aaron. Congratulations on the win, Emma.
Thank you.
You've coached a lot of elite strikers, obviously, in your years at Chelsea and in the United States. And when you see one, even one who's been dealing with some injuries and perhaps club struggles lately, hit a moment like Sophia did tonight, score a goal like that, you're standing there on the sideline. What's it like to watch a player hit a top moment like that?
Well, I mean, Soph's a top player. Instantly, you could see when she came into the game, way she held the ball up, way she turned the defender, the way she can peel off out wide. Soph is becoming the prolific striker that I want her to become, and demonstrated with the very few chances she got, she delivered into the bottom corner. But I think, as I've said much about this tour, I have to keep players fit and healthy, one, for the remainder of their season, and two, it's been a long year for them. And Soph, I'll have to consider Soph sparingly on this tour, maybe just from the bench. But she's shown what quality she can to make a difference.
Thank you.
Andrew Jones. Go ahead.
Thanks as always, Aaron. Emma, just want to ask you about the Austin crowd. First element for you in Austin. So your thoughts on just how the crowd was tonight, especially after seeing those quality goals.
Well, to begin with, I wasn't sure because the fireworks dominated. And then when the flags came out, I turned around to Denise and I went, oh, here they are. I could hear the roar of the crowd and the drum behind the goal, which, my mum and I differ about having drums during games. She's so English about it, and I absolutely love the drum. It allows me to tap my foot during the game. But I thought the crowd were tremendous, and you could hear the roar after every goal. And I think it was a period, especially when it went 1-1, the crowd really, you could really hear motivating the team on, and I think that really helped us in that last part of the game.
Awesome. Thanks, Emma. And we'll see oh, sorry, one more. There's one more in the back.
Sorry. I was a little late. Tiffany Arnold with Girls Soccer Network. I've heard you speak in other interviews about how important belief is in success, belief in the team, belief in players. So how key do you think belief is when it comes to women's sports in general, and what role does your belief have in each player?
Yeah, absolutely. Belief is essential. Everybody's talented enough, everyone's good enough to be here, but whether that is the belief they have in themselves or I have in them is, I think, essential when everybody is judging you on performance all of the time. That's why, for me, having a protective environment, a protective bubble where we keep building that in each other, lifting people up. It's one of the things I said to them today. We have a lot of new debutants, and when they come into the field, I want us to lift everyone and look after that, because family matters, and that's what this team is. So you can see the confidence that everybody has, whether you start the game, whether you come into the game, and that for me is what, is the way that I lead. So long may that continue, because I don't have time for cynicism.